So Ryan, how does Community Standards serve Notre Dame?
So David, the way that we serve the Notre Dame community is in a few different facets. Primarily it's to educate our students, our faculty, and our staff about what our expectations are, what we hope to aspire for with our student body, what is important to us not only with the individual development of our students, but also the expectations that we have for balancing that with the needs of our community and how we can create healthy environments that really foster learning and growth for everybody involved. We also work with our university conduct process. So if there's any alleged violations of our university standards of conduct, whether it's alcohol, drugs, sexual assault, sexual misconduct, theft, physical violence, our office works with those issues. And that's when we also have some very meaningful conversations with students to talk about reflecting on their behaviors, understanding why we have our standards, and really using education outside the classroom to help with their growth.
So are there different expectations when students are in international locations?
So David, our standards are actually quite similar to what a student would experience on campus, whether living in our residence halls or living off campus. There are a few anomalies. So if you're in an international location and there is not a formal residential program, no parietals wouldn't exist. However, our other standards, drug use, sexual misconduct, sexual assault, intoxication, all of those standards still do apply to all Notre Dame students, regardless of where they are in the world.
So what suggestions do you have for students preparing for international travel who would like to be connected to Community Standards?
So David, it really depends on the program that a student is participating in. If they're at a very formal and structured program, say in London, we actually have a staff there who can administer conduct meetings and have conversations with students for first-time violations of our alcohol policy, first-time violations of housing regulations, or other university policies that may be applicable to that particular location. If they're more serious matters, they'd actually be referred centrally to our office. And we actually work with a secure web conference. We can conduct meetings via telephone if need be. But we don't put these meetings off, and we don't wait until you get back to the main campus. We address them as soon as possible to ensure the safety and the security of our campus communities worldwide, but also for the individual development of that student.
Okay, so what about students who aren't in these highly structured programs, such as the London program?
So the important thing to realize, David, is one of the tenets of our conduct process is consistency in process. So that means regardless if you're in a structured program or maybe a not so structured program, we're going to address alleged violations of conduct. It just depends. Maybe it's somebody on site that will have that first conversation, or maybe it's somebody centrally on Notre Dame's campus will have that conversation. But it really doesn't matter where the student is, how structured the program is. If there is conduct that's concerning, we'll address it.
If I'm abroad and I have concerns about another Notre Dame student's conduct, what do you suggest I do?
So David, from time to time, just as our students live in residential communities on campus and you're in close proximity to others, you may be in a program where there are a lot of other Notre Dame students. And sometimes there's behaviors that are concerning. And sometimes those behaviors are violations of our standards. The most important thing to realize is if you notice something that is a violation, is to report it immediately. Don't let it sit, don't let it fester, don't say it's not a big deal. Issues that can be addressed as soon as possible, at the most local level possible, are going to be addressed in the most efficient manner and the most effective manner. If you don't have a formally structured program, if there's just a few of you, the easiest way to submit a report is through our website, communitystandards.nd.edu. We have a link on our left navigation for submitting an incident report. It doesn't mean that you're getting a student in trouble or you're tattletaling on somebody. You're raising a concern that we're all representatives of the university, and we want to ensure that we're looking out for the best interest of every individual as well as our university.